Hi, I'm Casey Jones. I'm the head coach at SBG Shropshire. Been a Jiu-Jitsu black belt now for about 7 years. Today Chris Coltrane, another fantastic black belt, is going to be helping me to go over some points of the footlock and the straight footlock finish. Okay, so Chris, can I have your leg please? Okay, so my basic grip for the footlock. Okay, I'm going to be doing a lot of work with my legs for the grip, so I'm going to hide my inside leg underneath Chris's butt to hide that foot away from him. My outside leg, I want to keep the flat of my foot on his hip and pointed outwards. Okay, I want to keep a good strong foot here. Okay, so I don't want to let my toes go like this or like this to the outside. I want to have a good strong foot, and that's going to block his weight from coming towards me. Now I'm just going to loosen this up while we look at the grip. The grip's going to be one of the most important factors for when I'm getting my footlock. I want to take the bony part of my wrist here, and I want that to connect in this weak point on his foot here. Okay, what we're going to try and do is my connection with my bone is going to go right into the weak part of his ankle. Okay, so I want to make sure that this bone catches right down here. The only thing that should be showing through on the other side of his leg is my fist. I'm just going to make a bold fist like this, and that should catch nicely. Now, what I want to do in order to get my footlock as effective as possible is, while Chris's foot is strong and like he's wearing a boot here, this is going to be very hard. Okay, this is going to be really tough to get through his Achilles tendon here to be able to put any damage on the ankle. So what I want to do with the rest of my grip is going to be pulling his foot out of alignment in this way. So when it's bent and down like this, this allows me to put maximum pressure onto his ankle. So the way I'll do that is to use my elbow pulled back by my lats to try and make his foot into this shape. So I catch right down the end of the lever, and then I bend my elbow right back towards my body, which would be very uncomfortable for him before I've even started to squeeze. If I put my feet back here, I squeeze my knees together, and now I grip on my hand, and this is a point when I start to squeeze. My squeeze will just be to look at my watch. So I get my feet in the right place, my hand hooks down the bottom of his ankle, right down the bottom, so the bony part is in the very end of where his ankle and his foot and leg meet. Then I want to compromise the position of his foot. I want to do that by pulling my elbow back and my lats suck all the way back. Then finally I just squeeze slightly and look at my watch. When I do this, I'll know if I've got it. While he's not resisting, this should just be a very small squeeze. So when I get into my position here, the first thing Chris will usually try and do from this part is to try and pull my feet off his hips. As he pushes this will allow him to be able to escape over my leg and relieve some of this pressure. In order to counter this, once I have my grip in place, I want to make sure that my foot is tight on his hip, my knees are pinched, and then I'll start to go to my side, and my toes, because they're pointing down now, will go into the floor, which makes my weight travel into my shoulder and my lat and makes that footlock all the tighter. So I catch the foot on the hip, knees together. Make sure my elbow comes back. Now when he tries the counter to try and get here, I anticipate, go this way, and if he goes all the way, I try and stop his movement by getting my toes on the floor, my hips go in the air, and I push weight into my lock. Okay, could you stand up for us please, Chris? Very common entry for this is, if Chris is trying to pass guard, is for me to slip underneath the leg and bring my foot to this position here. Now, in order for me to squeeze the footlock from here would be very difficult. So the first thing I want to do before I start to squeeze is to put him on his back. My feet are in the same position, foot hid behind his butt. First thing I want to do is lift his weight off the ground, then tilt him out. This will allow me a bit of rocking space. As I start to rock up, that will allow me to get my hand through nice and deep and adjust my lock. From here, I start to look to the side and then get my footlock. So one more time from the start. Chris is looking to try and pass. I scoop myself underneath, foot goes to the hip, this foot kicks under the butt, and now I'm going to use these with my hips to lift his weight up and put him down. Now, that gives me the space to get my hand into position. My elbow comes back. Then I start to go to my side, my toes on the floor, and I push weight into my footlock. And then I should have perfect straight footlock. Thank you, Chris. For more information, if you want to go to sbgshropshire.com, and then you can come and see us down there.